All right, welcome back to Impulsive. I'm Logan Paul, and this is Jake Paul.
Six.
Okay. This,
I hope you cut the rest of that so that it's just me saying six.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do
Oh.
because that's just amazing how it started now.
Oh my god. Alright.
I thought you were gonna respond. Okay, whatever.
Hi, Jake Paul. Are you my
No,
new
I'm Logan.
roommate?
You're Jake.
Oh, I don't know the difference between them.
One of them filmed Suicide Forest. The other one didn't.
Oh, dude, now I know exactly who they are.
I mean, they both boxed.
They
They
both.
both have blonde hair.
I still can't fucking believe that happened. That Logan Paul fought KSI. That shit's crazy.
Twice.
Twice? Oh my god. Wait, who won the first time?
It was a draw.
It was a draw? Really? Oh, okay, that's stupid.
Yeah, and then the second time KSI won.
I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, low key, I kind of wanted Jake Paul. Not Jake Paul. I kind of wanted Logan Paul to win the second time.
It's just one of those things where it's just like I'm okay with either of these two people dying.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if you just set fire to the stadium, I would be okay with that.
Okay, I think we should just go straight into top two because I'm really excited for top two.
I really think that we should hold it to the end because I have something else that I just like. Okay, so to preface this, I think that I am like the least I'm the least adult that I know. I really don't know how to do anything that would save my life. So recently, I noticed. So I had a really weird day 3 days ago. Like 3 days ago, I like felt really high all day. I was just trying to get work done, and it was Sunday. And I was just trying to get a bunch of work done because like the end of the semester is coming. And like halfway through the day, I was just like, wow, I have no idea what I haven't like. I feel so weird. I feel like almost like I'm high. And I like started cleaning up to just be like, is there weed in this room or something? Like, did something happen? Because you never know. And turns out I had cracked 3 fluorescent light bulbs. So my
Jesus.
general question to you is, and I literally wrote this down the second that it happened, is cracking a fluorescent light bulb a bad thing?
Off the top of my head, I don't. First off, it's just three small light bulbs, right? Like just normal ones that you plug
Yeah, yeah,
into a lamp.
the curly ones, the ones that look like a
Yeah.
pig's dick.
Off the top of my head, the gas in three of them, I don't think that the gas is super harmful, and like I think cracking three of them wouldn't cause anything like too bad off the top of my head.
Okay, so my mom spiked my cereal, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean Cocoa Puffs are kind of screwed up, but
I actually, whoa, okay, we'll do top twos later. But what's your favorite cereal?
my favorite cereal. Okay, you're gonna look at me really strange when I say this.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's Pops.
Pops?
Yeah,
What's Pops?
it's literally these like little yellow like corn puff ones.
Alright, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Pops.
Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. Pops.
Oh, okay. I know what these are. I've seen them before. We sell them at my store.
I would
Oh, okay.
hope so.
You would hope so, motherfucker. Listen, this is the stupidest story. Okay, so like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, I started working at a pharmacy, right? And like
A
obviously,
Rite Aid,
yeah, Rite Aid. I
not a
actually don't.
real pharmacy.
Whoa, what do you mean not a real pharmacy?
Because it's not like just a pharmacy.
Whoa. Sounds like you sound like a CVS dude right now. Whoa, what the
I
fuck?
am CVS. I am
Are you a
Team
CVS
CVS.
for life?
I'm not gonna lie. I have held stock in CVS, so I'm biased to
Wow,
CVS.
I don't know if I can be in this call right now. That's crazy.
I mean, I never brought it up.
You never brought it up. What, you were afraid?
Well, I'm Team CVS for life, baby.
TV CVS. Well, fuck that and fuck CVS people, okay? Just fuck everybody who even walks into a CVS. But
Dude, I
fucking
wish that those weren't brands so that we can make T-shirts, just one for you and one for me, like Team Rite Aid, Team CVS.
I'm pretty sure like we probably could as long as we don't use any of their branded stuff. I don't think they.
Well, I mean, like we could, we just like wouldn't be able to like
What do you think the probability is that Rite Aid has copyrighted the word right? RITE.
copyrighted.
Yeah.
Probably not trademarked. Yes.
All right, so this is just going to be one of those other instances. What's the difference?
So if I am following this right, trademark is more of a name and logo situation, and
Oh, okay.
copyright is more of works produced or like the look of something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let me say this. Like I've got a perfect example for you. So Reese's Pieces, the logo
I'm
and the
sorry.
name.
I'm sorry. Pause. I'm pause.
What?
Just start the sentence over again.
Reese's Pieces?
All right, buddy. What?
What?
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Ew, Reese's Pieces?
Okay, whatever. Okay.
You no, you can't just pronounce the second word wrong so it rhymes with the first word, which you're already saying wrong. This is the biggest pet peeve that I never knew I had until someone said the word Reese's Pieces to me. I'm like, why would you say this? It's Reese's Pieces, right?
Dude, when we lived together, I bought them like 8 times and said them like that. Like straight up to you.
You
And you've
serious?
never commented on it before.
Let's be honest, Connor. I think that for the first 2 months that I knew you, I was high every single day. I couldn't
What
get
do you
I
mean the
couldn't-
first 2 months? You mean every day?
Oh my god. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah,
Anyways.
college is weird.
So Reese's Pieces. The actual like logo and like name, I'm pretty sure are trademark. But
Okay.
you know that orange that is on a Reese's bag.
The background of the bag, the color.
Yeah, the actual color orange.
Yeah.
That's copyrighted.
What? You could Oh yeah, you can copyright a color,
You
right?
can copyright color. So here's how you can
Because
basically
you would copyright
color.
the hexadecimal code for it, right?
Yeah, but here's kind of how it works. Is the idea is Reese's can copyright that orange, and basically no other food brand can use that orange.
Ah, so it's like within
It's-
industry.
Yeah, so like say that I'm like a music company, and I produce like records, and our logo, our background is the same as the Reese's orange.
Yeah.
Like the copyright is there to prevent people kind of mixing up ideas or stealing ideas.
I just thought of
So-
a great band name.
What?
We make a band around that entire color of Reese's Pieces, and we call it Reese's, like Reese, the name Reese's Pieces.
Oh my god.
It's a guy named Reese, and it's a bunch of other guys. And they're a band called Reese's Pieces.
Oh my god. That's
Dude,
amazing.
tell me that doesn't slap.
It
We could make diabetes music.
You actually want to know this just reminded me of something that's completely unrelated but also related.
Mhm.
Do you know the movie Meet the Fockers?
No, not off the top of my head.
So the plot and the actual story of the movie doesn't matter. All you need to know is that some of the characters' last name in there is Fokker. Focker.
Yeah. Oh wait, this movie has like Robert De Niro in it, right?
Yeah, I forget. I think that's Meet the Parents. It's no.
Oh no, I've seen Meet the Parents. I've absolutely seen Meet the Parents. I don't know if I've seen Meet the Fockers yet.
Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers both have Robert De Niro.
Okay,
But
so-
Meet the Fockers doesn't have.
I've seen Meet
son's
the
parents.
Parents, and I fucking hated it. Would you recommend that I see Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Okay.
But they had issues trying to get that name legalized.
Like
and
for the
they
name
had
of the
to-
movie, right?
Yeah, because like obviously it's Fokker,
Because
so
they
it's
were
supposed to be a
kids,
joke,
dude. Yeah.
and it's like a PG-13 movie. It's not like a rated R movie. So they had to find somebody with the actual name Fokker for it to be allowed.
But there's got to be some guy named Fokker out there, right?
There is. That's why they were allowed to keep the name going.
Oh, okay.
But the best part is like the main character's name. His first name's Gaylord, and the last name's Fokker.
Wow.
Gaylord Fokker.
Dude, I didn't know that like Gaylord was a pretty common name for white people until like maybe I was 14. Oh, this like
I like
deserves.
how you said white people.
Show me one person of a different ethnicity than white that has the name Gaylord.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, I should preface this with saying that there were many times in my like between the age of 12 and 16 where I would wake up in the car and my parents were driving me to somewhere on vacation and I had no idea what the fuck was going on, right? This is something that kind of just happened to me a lot as a kid. Mostly
Wait,
because
I'm
like,
so confused. What does this have to do with the name Gaylord?
because what happened was I woke up in the car and my mom would said, "Oh, hey, you're awake now." And I was like, "Oh, where are we going?" And she was like, "Oh, we're in Connecticut. We're going to I think Mystic Falls or something like that. We were going to Mystic River. Yeah, we were going to Mystic River." And as we were going there, the first thing I see when I go, "Oh, cool, we're going to Mystic," I look out the fucking window and I see a farm that's Gaylord Farms, and I just started laughing for the rest of the fucking drive to fucking Mystic. I was laughing my ass off. And like a solid 5 minutes into me just laughing, my parents were like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And I literally just eked out the word Gaylord and just kept on laughing. And when I tell you, I made eye contact with my dad in like the reverse in the rear view mirror. He just looked so sad, and I was just like, I just felt so bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm your son. I'm sorry.
My favorite part about that story is how you're like saying that your parents basically kidnapped you for vacations.
Oh, for like 4 straight years. It genuine because like I was really bad like in middle school and early high school with like I could sleep through anything essentially for a little while. So like they would like nudge me awake and like in a very comatose state. I would just be like, okay, cool, I'll just get my pants on, and I would just like get in the car and like I always kind of had like a vacation bag packed, so my parents would just grab it for me, and like it would be 20 days into summer. My mom's like, oh, we just need to go on a vacation. We're going to Maine or like we're going to Virginia. Like
I is that comatose? Is that a New York saying?
comatose.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, because I say like when I'm about to knock out a lot of times, I'll say that I'm going comatose, and I got it from somebody that I used to work with, and they're from New York City.
Oh, okay.
And you are the only other person that I've heard say it, and you're also from New York City.
I see what the problem is here. You're conflating New York sayings with just intelligent people sayings. Comatose is a medical term that means you're in a coma.
Yes. But like my thing is like, so I've between you two, and then I've maybe heard like three other people in my lifetime say it, and they were all New Yorkers.
That's weird. Maybe it is like a New York thing to say comatose. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I definitely think that would be interesting to like. Oh man, now I just want to ask
Because
New
I've
Yorkers.
heard people say that like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm gonna enter a coma. But like only New York people,
Wait,
only
have
New
you
York people go.
have you seen
I'm
the have
going
you,
comatose.
have you seen the meme video of the guy that says I'm gonna be Switzerland and he literally just it's just editing him into the version of Switzerland?
No.
Okay, I'll just send you that afterwards. But when you said I'm just gonna go comatose, I just imagine some guy going, "I'm gonna go comatose," like in the middle of the street and just like falls over,
Oh
just
my
fucking
god.
passes
Oh,
out.
listen, I saw a YouTube video, and I'm gonna do the same thing that this guy did.
Yeah.
And you're gonna love this, and people aren't gonna understand what it means until I explain it. So this guy emailed every single embassy in his country for foreign countries, asking for a flag of their country.
Oh, wait.
Now,
No, okay. I'm fully invested.
yes. So he emailed every single one saying, with basically like the saying like, "Hey, I'm a flag collector. I don't have your country's flag. Would you be willing to send me one?" He did this, and he has a whole Excel sheet. If you watch the video, like
Wait, oh,
he
holy
messages
shit.
almost every country.
How does this
Like,
work?
so he only got like full size flags. He only got like maybe 8,
Oh,
but
dude, for free?
but like over half the countries would either send him like a little tourist packet or like a small little tiny flag.
Like a link to their Amazon account, like buy this bitch.
Yeah, so I
Wow.
decided because you know my love of flags.
Connor, I think I fully understand your love of flags.
Yes. So I decided that once it's appropriate timing and I can actually do this, maybe next spring, I'm going to email every single embassy in the United States for a foreign country
Okay.
asking for a flag.
Better idea. Me and you go to
Yes.
Washington, D.C., and we knock on every single embassy's door and ask for a flag.
I don't think that's how it works.
No. And here's what we can do is we can bring our own flags that cuz we're a
You want
little
to
bit of
purchase.
flag collectors, you know. We have a pretty healthy grouping of flags. We trade and barter for the flags we don't have. So like we go to Nigeria and we're like, "Hey, I'll give you 2 Somalias for a Nigerian flag."
Dude, it just gets to the point where certain flags are more valuable than others. What do
Well,
you think like the most valuable flag would
I,
be?
it,
North Korea,
no,
like an
no joke.
authentic
No,
North
not even
Korean
North
flag.
Korea. No joke. Fucking Milwaukee's flag. Because you put me on to Milwaukee's
Oh,
flag.
yes.
Milwaukee has
Okay,
a
now
banger flag, dude.
okay, so I have to explain this. So
Oh, I love this story.
there's
I
this idea.
remember this. This is so good.
There's this idea, like I forget, it's this design principle, which is something becomes like so ugly that it becomes beautiful. And there's two flags that have done this. One of them is the Maryland state flag.
Oh, I gotta look this shit up.
Maryland state flag is so ugly that it's beautiful. But the Milwaukee state flag takes it to, or not the Milwaukee state flag.
Oh my
The
god.
Milwaukee city flag takes it to a whole new level. This flag, it's like a blue background. It's got the year, and the year is in red letters but yellow outline. It's got the name of Milwaukee across the top, also red with a yellow outline. And then there's a giant like steam boat engine type thing in the middle of
Yeah.
it with a whole bunch of different colors. This thing is so ugly that it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's incredible. I also do not. I don't doubt for a second that you could have probably just recited every single aspect of the flag without looking at it. But I really hope that that entire time you're just looking over at your wall of flags. You're just like longingly looking into the eyes of the Milwaukee flag. Like,
Dude, I wish after we had to move out, they're all in a trash bag right now.
I hung up all three of my flags. I only you want to know the
Here's the issue.
Could you guess?
I have like
Could you guess the three flags that I managed to bring back? Because I know you know two of them.
that's what I call a pro gamer move.
Yep, I got the Vsauce. I got Michael hanging up behind me.
You've got the Mr. Mosby AM or Foom.
Am or Fum. Yep, another staple hanging over my brother's closet right now.
And did you get the Italian one? Because I know you had an extra Italian one.
So I had the Italian one, and for like 3 days straight, the only one that I had hung up was the Italian one. And I was doing a stream for my friends because we were gonna play some Overwatch. And I turn on the stream and I had the camera on, and they come to the stream and they just go, "Why the fuck is the only thing on your wall an Italian flag?" And I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something about coronavirus, and everybody just left. They were like, "All right, cool, this guy has corona."
Dude, the thing is when we had the apartment together, my favorite part was you walk into our apartment, the first two flags that you saw was North Korea and South Korea right next to each other.
Dude.
Then you look to the left, behind the trash can was the United States flag, and like right up on the wall was the Milwaukee City flag. But also, like, stuck behind, like, the table so that you could barely see it was the Israeli flag.
Dude, I fucking love the placement of our flags in our apartment. That shit was amazing. Like, anytime we were playing Mario Kart, motherfuckers would always just be like, "So, the North Korean flag, why?" And I had to look them straight in the eye and just be like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna put up a South Korean flag, you gotta promote unity."
Yeah, dude.
Listen.
Also, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, the North Korean flag wasn't the ugliest one that we had hung up.
Yeah, honestly, North Korea doesn't have a bad flag. You know, just from like a purely aesthetic view, like North Korea doesn't have a bad flag. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of bad flags, I had to look it up because I forgot what it looked like. I'm now looking at the Maryland state flag, and I think I'm having a stroke. Like,
you see what I mean?
This shit it's terrible.
But it's good.
Oh my god. Oh, wait.
It's so bad that it's good.
Wait. It's 7 o'clock, Connor. Are you clapping? Are you clapping?
What does that even mean?
Okay. So, I think it might just be in populated areas, but like, due to what's going on right now, is that at 7 o'clock we're clapping for healthcare workers, which means at 7 o'clock on the dot, everybody in my apartment building just starts slamming the nearest item they can find. Like, if I opened up my window right now, it would literally just be people going like, "Wah!" and like slamming pots and pans and shit. It's fucking amazing, dude.
That sounds horrible. I like, it's a great sentiment, but like, it sounds like it would be so annoying.
Connor, it was a great sentiment like a solid like a week ago, right? It's been going on every fucking day since. And like, I live with a healthcare worker. I'm also somebody that, like, you know, fights on the front line. I'm putting that in quotations. Like, I literally just work at a fucking pharmacy. But like, me and my mom don't give a shit. Like, first of all, my mom is deaf. She can't hear it. I don't know if she knows the clapping is going on. And for me, I'm just like, I want to play Minecraft. Why are you fuckers annoying my goddamn Minecraft time?
Oh, me and my mom got into an argument about whether or not she's a healthcare worker.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
So,
can you provide like her side of the argument?
I will. It's in the argument.
Okay.
So, to explain to you, across the country, there's a lot of things called visiting nurses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what visiting nurses are, for people that don't know, is typically they'll go out to houses for elderly, and it'll just be nurses to go out there and help them and do whatever. And my mother works at the office. She doesn't go out to the places. She's not a nurse. She's just almost like a secretary. Like, she just organizes the stuff.
Without hearing anything else, I'm already on your side.
Thank you. So she got very mad at me at what I compared it to, because her argument was basically she's working with the nurses to coordinate, and she's coming in contact with the nurses, like on a daily basis. But at the same point, I proposed, I was like, that's kind of saying the same thing as like a janitor in a hospital is a healthcare worker.
Honestly,
in the sense that he just works there and he comes in contact with the people. And like he but like I'm saying, just because you work in the facility doesn't immediately mean that you are in that line of work.
Yeah, like definitely thank you for your service and you're doing a great job. But bitch, what the fuck are you
Oh
talking
yeah.
about? Well, actually, well, wait.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I I guess I've never talked to you about this. Like, so I've gotten in trouble. Like, I say the dumbest shit sometimes. To I guess when I look at it, it's mostly to and about women, because I won't really think about it. Because in my mind, like everyone's equal, and like I make fun of men based on their gender, and the exact same amount of that I do for women. But like I will just call people bitches, like no matter who they are. So like
like
yeah,
indiscriminately.
indiscriminately, I'm not like a sexist or anything, but I get in trouble a lot for calling like my friends' mothers bitches because I'll just be like, "Bitch, you crazy?" and like,
Yeah.
and like I get in trouble for that shit a lot. I don't know if it's okay that I call your mom a bitch.
I mean, I don't take
Oh,
offense,
okay,
and
solid.
she's never gonna listen to this, so we're
What
good.
if like tomorrow she texts you in the morning? She's just like, "So, you make podcasts, huh?"
Dude, if she found this, like I would, like at the level that we're at right now, if she found this, I would be impressed.
Yeah, actually, like that's some like super sleuth shit. But did you have like kids in high school that like could find any person on social media in minutes?
Not in high school.
Okay,
In college, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes,
like
immediately.
every single girl in my grade was like a detective. Cause like I would talk to them and I'd just be like, oh yeah, I met this cool person on the train, and they'd be like, oh, describe them in like 5 words, and I'm like, they were kind of tall and their name was
Oh, so
Larry,
you're
and
like
they would just be like, oh, I found their
you're
Facebook. And I'd just be like, what the fuck?
I completely like forgot about this. You're talking like New York City.
Yeah.
Like just random people on the
Oh no,
subway.
yeah, they literally could like look at a picture of somebody and just be like, I could find
Dude.
this person on Facebook.
Yeah, no. That's not what I meant at all. I meant like if somebody was like, "Hey, there's this random dude. I know his name's Jack." Like
Oh yeah,
nothing
no, no,
else
no,
about him.
they don't even have their fucking names, dude. And like one of
Yeah, no. That's a whole new level
oh,
of like
it's
sleuthing.
it's it's scary. It's genuinely scary. And like, oh my god, if you had gone to high school with me, you would understand why I fear every single person in my high school. Like, first of all,
I hope all those women grow up to become
oh,
detectives.
I actually hope so too. Some of them are like really good at it to a scary level. But like the high school I went to, I don't know what the fuck happened, but there must have been like a goddamn gas leak the first year that I was there or something. Every single person that I know from high school is the weirdest human being I've met in my life. Like the people I went to high school with, like I don't the only way I can describe it, I describe it to my brother perfectly, is that like in 5 years if we ever have a reunion, going to the reunion will just be like a question of like, okay, who's dead or not? Like which of us are in jail, which of us are like politicians, and which one of us is dead? Not even one of us. Which like large plurality of the people that I went to high school with are just fucking like buried in a North Korean like prison camp or something. Like I
Jesus.
know. Oh my god, like I half the shit that I can't even talk about it because it's illegal, but this guy's an idiot. Um I knew this the only way I could describe him is he was a Jewish pimp, okay?
What?
He's this kid I knew who was from a very rich Jewish family in like far out in Long Island. And I went to school pretty in the middle of Long Island City, essentially, so a lot closer to Manhattan. And this kid lived like essentially what we in New York would call out in the sticks, where realistically the population of towns are probably like 30 times what you have, but like out in the sticks he lived,
Yeah.
right? So when he turned 16, his dad was gonna buy him a car. So he's like, yeah, my dad's gonna buy me a Maybach, and I was like, oh shit, that's really cool, man. Like, are you gonna drive it to school? And he's like, yeah, I'm getting a parking permit for it next year and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, I'll pay you $200 for you to go through driving school, get your license, and you can chauffeur for me. And I looked at him in the face and I just go, what did you just say to me? He was like, yeah, you can be like my driving Miss Daisy. I fucking
Oh my
smacked the
god.
shit out of this kid. I was just like, excuse me? Like, I knew this
Dude.
kid had never seen Driving Miss Daisy before. I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Dude, that's so funny they had to get like a permit when in high school when I got my car and I could drive. Literally just I stopped taking the bus. Didn't tell anyone. Like didn't alert the school or anyone. And just started putting my car in the parking lot. Parking it there, going in, doing my stuff and then leaving and getting in my car and
doing my
leaving.
stuff. I'm just like imagining you doing like a line of cocaine.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I always say like my last year of high school was very strange in that I was taking community college classes like in the
Oh yeah,
evening.
I did the same.
Yeah, yeah, online, or one of them I had to actually go out to the community
Oh, those are the
college.
fucking worst.
But as a result, I talked to the school and I convinced them to like let me not take like electives at the high school since I was already taking so many classes outside of
Yeah.
school. So I had we had like 8 class slots. That first semester of senior year, I had 3 study halls. Second semester I had 4 study halls. So literally like there was days where I would go in and only be there for half a day. I'd have to be there for the full day, but only half the day I had to actually do
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. That's I've learned that it has different colloquialisms. We call it I forgot what we call it actually. Shit. Cuz other people like in the Midwest call it the senior slide, where you just kind of like slide in doing your work and once you become a senior, like your second semester. I forgot what we call it. But like yeah, my senior year, I think I had
Yeah.
like something like a 50% attendance. Like it was real bad.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, this is the thing is like it wasn't like that at my high school because like I was one of the only kids doing this. All the other kids in the school, to my knowledge, were taking at least 6 classes, and you were allowed a maximum of 2 study
oh,
halls.
dude.
I was the only kid that was taking classes
You're the only
outside.
kid trying to finesse? What the hell?
Yeah,
That's such a
well,
weird high school. Like there were kids in my high school that were like trying to get out of going to high school in junior year. They were just like, I'm done with this. What am I talking about?
yeah.
In sophomore year, there were 3 kids that just dropped out. Like they turned 16 and they found a rule in New York State where if you turn 16, you can legally drop yourself out of high school, and they just did it. They just fucking left.
Dude, I like I tried to graduate high school early. Like I tried to graduate a year early,
My mom tried to do that
and it
actually.
just
She tried to graduate me early.
yeah, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But like literally my second year, I think the 4 classes that I took that were the entire year was an AP English class, an AP Calculus, AP Physics, and a half semester like ECE history class, and then a half semester woodshop class.
Bro, you actually had wood
And
shop?
yeah, dude, I took woodshop every single
What the
year at high
fuck?
school.
Bro, we didn't even have a garage at our school.
Dude, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh because this is gonna be even funnier. The first year that I was there taking woodshop, I already knew how to use all the tools. Like I
Oh,
knew
really,
from
Connor?
doing.
I like this is an audio podcast, so I don't expect anybody except for like your friends to know who you are. But like when I met you, I was like, "Oh, I live with a bear now. I live with a bear that knows how to use power tools."
Yeah, yeah. Like I walked in like freshman year, I knew how to use everything
Yeah.
because I had already started doing carpentry during
You
the
already built a
summers.
house at that time. You already built
I
already
I,
building
I
the
was working
bunker.
on
Already
houses.
building the bunker for that guy. What was his
Yeah,
name? Ted Krasinski.
but dude, that'd be funny. Oh, no, no, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. This is this last
yeah.
summer, dude. No, no, no.
You should tell
Okay,
the story. You
okay.
should tell the story.
So me and my father started a construction company.
Yeah.
And one of our first jobs was for a friend, and he wanted to build basically a tiny home.
Yeah.
And it was for his stepson who was having a lot of issues at the time, and his son just wanted to live out in the middle of the woods to get away from everyone because I think that's what was causing a lot of his mental
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, yeah.
But his son did a lot of the basic designs for the house. Me, my dad, and his father, we like finalized them and made them like actually buildable.
Yeah.
But the inspiration for what it would look like, he drew up. And I kid you not, this thing looked like the Unabomber Shed 2.0.
Yeah. Oh, like exactly like the Unabomber Shed 2.0.
Yeah, and like, and I don't mean like mental issues in a bad way, but like he also had mental issues, which was part of the reason that I thought of it that
Yeah.
way. Like he had some serious mental issues. So all of that together, if you look up a picture of the Unabomber Shed,
Yeah, it's like a
and just imagine.
they the FBI literally took the shed and they have it like in a room in the FBI headquarters or whatever. They literally just have the shed.
Yeah, and like here's the thing. We built this shed not out on location. Like this shed was meant to be like put on a truck and towed
Yeah.
out there. So like this is like as movable as the Unabomber shed. Like if you can imagine like the Unabomber shed with brand new wood instead of like the dingy ones that you see when you look at the
Yeah.
pictures, and like a couple more windows.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's basically identical.
Yeah. All right. I wanna give one more story because like this wasn't even in my senior year, but this was the time that I finessed my school so heavily. So I was like a known slacker. I like most of my teachers wouldn't like in because we had
me too,
yeah
me
we had
too.
like parent teacher conferences right all throughout high school, and in my sophomore year I was taking a class called AP Environmental. It was like it was just like a class for environmental studies, and like I kind of liked it. I really didn't give a fuck though, but like I didn't do any homework in this class for like the first month. So come times for the first parent teacher conference, my mom goes in because like she got an email from the teacher like, hey, your son's not doing very well. Can we come in and like talk about alternate strategies for how this is gonna go forward? My mom is pissed. Like we're going there and I'm like my head's down. I'm not looking her in the eyes. Like I'm scared as shit. We get there. And like we get into the room, and I guess the teacher kind of felt the vibe and was like, "Oh shit, this kid's like scared of his mom." And like and so she goes, so yeah, your son has been like just missing a lot of homework and he doesn't really do a lot of work outside of class, but he speaks so perfectly in class. He's incredibly intelligent. My mom goes, oh? And I'm like, oh? And she goes, yeah, so I'm just thinking maybe we can come up with alternate strategy for how we should go forward. This is where I take over the conversations because I'm like, oh, she's giving me rope. I'm gonna fucking hang this bitch. I'm like, yeah, I just kind of have problems focusing on the class outside of the walls of the class. Maybe there's a way that I can like not do any homework for the rest of the year and maybe just get like an in-class project that I can do. And she was like, well, yeah, you're pretty far ahead in most of the work we're doing in class. I can look into that. And my mom goes, that's a great idea. He could do an entire project on like nuclear power and its effectiveness. And I was like, great idea. So we ended the parent teacher conference with setting up that I had to do no in-class homework or no in-class work, no in-class projects, or no homework for the rest of the year. And all I had to do was hand in a 3-page report on the efficacy of nuclear power by the end of the year, and it was fucking September. Like, it was September, and she had already canceled all of my work for the rest of the year. Now, when
Yeah.
I tell you that I came into the class and did nothing for the rest of the year is an understatement. I came into that class, set up my laptop, and watched music videos from September until fucking July. And July
Yeah.
10th or like whatever comes around and she goes, "Hey, so how's the project going?" And I go, "Pretty good." I went home, wrote 3 pages on nuclear power, and then gave it to her the next day. And she goes, "Oh, this is great. You got 100."
Dude, that reminds me of three
Oh,
classes that I
I
have a very
still can't
similar
believe that
story
shit
in.
happened.
I had a class, I think it was my sophomore year of college. And the way that it was set up is it was geo what was it? It was
Geo dude.
it was surveying.
Oh, okay.
It was a surveying
Oh,
class.
is that the class? Is that the
So
class where I see a bunch of kids around campus, just like with the yellow tripods?
tripods.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was that class. So what that class was comprised of was it was a lab and lecture, except the lecture happened right after the lab, and it was once a week. And basically, the whole idea was you'd go out for lab, you get a grade for doing the actual lab, and then you'd go to lecture, which would explain how to use the stuff or the equipment for the next
Yeah.
class. And but then it was also the other half of lecture was just general theory about it, and then there was homework on that. Now the homework was graded and it was weekly, but you didn't have to submit it until the end of the semester. You could submit it as you went along, or you could just submit it in a bulk at the end. And this is the type of homework that you couldn't do all of it in one day, and not a lot of it is on Chegg.
Oh,
So like you had to actually do it. I didn't do any of the homework, and it's maybe like second to last lecture before the final exam. And the teacher's giving us out our final like our grades before the final to kind of let us know where we're at.
Yeah.
And so he looks at me and he just goes, "So without your homework, you're at like a 72." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Or with the homework, you're at like a 72. Without it, you're at like a 94." He goes, "How about if you just do well in the final exam, I'll just forget about the homework."
oh my god.
And this is like 2 weeks before the final exam. I'm like, "Yes, please."
Sign me up.
Yeah. So, and the agreement was is that as long as I got above an 80 on the final exam, he wouldn't include
Oh
the
yeah,
homework.
that's easy shit.
So yeah, so I got above an 80.
Nice.
And the other two classes is the AP calculus class in high school. It was the first year that the high school instituted like a no homework policy for the math department.
What the fuck?
So here, let me rephrase that. There was homework, but it wasn't graded. Like it was a non-graded homework.
That's
policy.
so dumb. Okay, dude.
So I didn't do any of the
Yeah,
homework.
no shit.
And there's these weekly problem sets. I didn't do any of them.
Nice.
And I was so far ahead in calculus that the teacher missed 3 classes, and I had to teach the class on what we were going over for that
Oh,
day.
dude.
Like that, it got to the point where the teacher's like, "I'm just not even gonna argue with
Yeah.
him," and just like he just let me teach the
Oh,
class.
that
the 3
happened
days
in
he's
so many
gone.
like social studies classes when I was growing up, where teachers would just be like, "I'm so done with arguing with this kid." Like, oh, dude, I had such good syllogisms back when I was a kid. Fuck. I used to be able to rap
Yeah,
too.
my
Oh God, what happened to me?
my favorite one was my physics class. Like we get there and they also instituted a no homework policy on
What the?
physics.
I hate your school because I want to be there.
So the teacher goes, he just goes, homework's not graded, but we're going over it every class. He goes, you don't have to do the homework, but if you don't do the homework, you will not be able to pass the test. Like the idea is like you wouldn't know the material for the
Yeah, yeah,
test.
which is always just a dumb thing to say, because
Yeah, and it was the first day, and I looked at him, and I was just like, "I accept your challenge, and I will one up
literally
you."
every single time a teacher has ever said like, "Hey, don't do this on the last day," I go, oh, "Okay, so I'm gonna do this on the last day just to prove to you that I." Oh shit! Literally the best example of that in the last semester, like the semester that got truncated because of the thing. What happened was one of my classes we had a midterm before spring break, and he was like, okay, so this is all the work that you have to do. Make sure you fill out this outline. It's not graded, but this outline will teach you everything you need to know about the test. If you don't do the outline, you will not know what's on the test because a lot of the stuff we haven't brought up in class. And I go, bet. I'm not doing that. So like 3 classes beforehand, he's like, "Hey, you guys should be like 25% done." Next class, "Hey, you guys should be 50% done with the outline and everything. How's it going?" And the entire time I'm just like, "Fuck it. I'm not going to do it." The day of the exam happens. I show up to the class. I sit down and I'm like a little bit freaking out because I'm like, oh, okay. So I really didn't do any work. Like I was planning on a date before to like look at the outline and stuff like that, but I got busy and I didn't do it. So I got to the class. I sit down. I'm like, oh shit, I'm so fucked. And I'm looking around and like other kids are also kind of being like, oh shit, this is gonna be a hard test. I did the outline, but it was a little bit confusing. And I'm like, okay, and so we're taking the exam, and this is important because halfway through the exam, 2 girls come in, obviously high, and they're just like, "Oh, is there any way that we can like take the exam next class? Like, we're not able to." And the teacher's like, "Not taking any of this bullshit." He goes, "You're gonna sit down. You're gonna do the exam. I don't care what grade you get." And they were like, "Oh fuck." So they sit down, they take the exam. I'm like one of the first kids to finish, so I hand in and I'm like, "Oh shit, I just like guessed on all this stuff." I hand in my paper. Next class comes around, we get our grades back, and before he hands them out, he just goes, "So I know that none of you guys studied, because these grades were abysmal." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And he was like, "Only one of you guys got a perfect grade. I just want you guys to look up to this person as a role model." I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck? He walks over to me and gives me my paper and goes, "Great job." And I got 101 on the fucking exam. And he then goes up to the 2 girls that showed up late and goes, "I need to talk to you outside." And like as they walk outside, you can kind of hear some of their conversation. He's just like, "You guys both failed. Like this was terrible." And I'm just like, oh shit. Like
Oh
I
my god.
cannot fucking believe how heavy I finessed that test. Because most of it was writing. So, like, I was just writing down bullshit, and I was just like, there's no way I'm passing. And I still can't believe to this day that I did that. That shit was crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, do you know? I think I told you this. Before I went into engineering, I wanted to do architecture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So a lot of the architecture requirements include art credits. So I took art history 1 and art history 2
Ooh.
at the community college to get them out of the way.
Oh, yikes, buddy.
Dude, I passed both with an A, making sure.
Nice. Dude, I
Like
hate art.
literally,
I fucking hate art.
I do too. Dude, the exams, like, luckily for me, is these art history classes, they go far back enough that you don't really have to use like actual math stuff. It's just kind of the idea of, okay, here's this symbol. What religion, what country does this tie to?
Wait a second.
And then
That doesn't sound like a
dude, that
hard
like
class
that's
at
all.
all.
It's not. That's literally it would be like a picture of it would be like a sculpture or something, and you'd basically just talk about the material that it's made out of, the symbols in it that are easily tieable to the time period and like the country or
Oh
religion.
my god.
None of it was like the only thing that I remember that's like an idea for art is like contrapposto, which is like the
Oh,
idea
like a
of
perfect
how
male form or a perfect body or whatever.
no. Contrapposto is imagine you have an imaginary line going through your forehead, through your wrists, through your shoulders, like through
Oh,
all the
like
like hair joints.
when you said imagine a straight line going through your head, I just immediately thought, oh, like Phineas Gage.
But like you kind of see what I mean, like imaginary line through
Yes, and
both
I'm
of
also
these.
very scared because I'm literally in an art class right now, and I just got contrapposto wrong.
Oh, yeah, but so then the idea is for a sculpture to be more interesting is for those lines to not be in parallel, but for like to be off at off
Oh.
angles. So like one knee should be like slightly like higher or slightly more
Oh, okay,
forward,
yeah.
so that like all the lines just aren't parallel straight up and down. Like if you followed the lines, like some of them would crisscross. This is like a very old concept.
Okay.
But that was the whole class, is like I just made stuff up, and like I threw in those very like couple like art terms that I knew, like contrapposto. Dude, I remember like three things from that class. Like the contrapposto is one, and actually two things. The other thing is where Leonardo da Vinci was born.
Wait, can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Fuck, I actually don't even have a good guess. Like Italy, right? He was born in Italy, right?
Yeah, but Vinci. That's why his name's Da Vinci.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Leonardo of Vinci? That's what his name means? Oh.
Yeah.
what a dumb name.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's such a dumb thing.
Connor of Connecticut. Peter of New York.
What do you mean? I'm Logan Paul
Logan Paul.
of Ohio.
Well, Logan Paul of Ohio. Do you want to get to the only predetermined segment of this podcast?
Top two.
Tattoos!
Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain it?
I'm gonna explain it because I have a pretty easy one to go off first. Alright,
Okay.
cool. So, we both have come up with our top twos for random categories, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna say the top two to each other, and then the other has to guess what the category is. So for the easy one that I have,
But we also have to then give our top two before we find out what the category
yeah,
is.
you have to give your top two without knowing what the category is. All right, so this one's pretty easy. I think you should get it. Watsky and NF.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Eminem NF.
Eminem NF. Interesting. I think there's going to be a
it's
fight.
White rappers.
Okay.
Is it white rappers?
It is top two white rappers. Yep. So that's pretty easy. And also, what the fuck? Eminem?
What? Yeah.
Listen, like, okay, when I determine like the best, especially musically, it always has to be like based on their discography. Eminem has had such garbage like music. Like he's made a lot of really amazing things, but he's also made some fucking hot garbage.
The thing though is like I think that happens with everybody that's like the best in their field, or like one of the top in their field.
Okay, but
so like if you look at Derek Jeter has off seasons.
You're not going to be able to ever explain a sports analogy to me.
So the idea is Derek Jeter, he's one of the best baseball players of all time. You know that, right?
Nope. I didn't know that.
Okay, Derek Jeter's one of the best baseball players of all time.
That means he scores all the touchdowns?
Now, there's...
I'm joking.
yeah. But the idea is that he's performed really well in a lot of seasons, but he has some seasons where he's done bad. Like, to stay, like, keep doing something for so long and to imagine being, like, at the top of the field for that long, or, like, always producing, like, quality stuff is really
I have
hard.
two counters to that. One, Kendrick Lamar. Never made a bad song. Two, Wilt Chamberlain. Literally the god of basketball and, like, was just always the god of basketball.
He's not the best.
Wilt Chamberlain? Yeah, he is. Yeah,
No,
what? He still has, like, the all-time scoring record or whatever. He also, motherfucker.
All-time scoring doesn't mean that you're the best.
What? Okay, we can get into this next podcast. We're getting into who's the best of all time in basketball. Okay, that'll be the next.
Okay,
topic.
we'll do that next podcast. All right. Do you want to hear?
Let's get your top two.
All right, this is gonna probably be a bit hard.
Don't worry, the rest of mine are hard too.
Yeah, dome and a hard hat.
Dome and a hard hat. Oh, fuck.
I really hope that you know what this is, but you don't figure it out.
Oh, I can't. The hard hat is throwing me off because I would have gone with.
I know.
I would have gone with Nuketown and Nuketown 2025, and guess the category was top two Black Ops maps or top two Call of Duty maps, right? Because I know that Dome is pretty popular, but what the fuck with hard hat? So instead, I'm gonna go with I really don't know. Okay. Let's go with...
What's your top two?
Fire extinguisher and a 2x4. My top in the category is top two things you need on a construction site.
Dude, the best part is you were so close to knowing what the topic was. Yeah, it was top two MW3 maps.
Fuck! Hard hat! Oh no!
Yeah, my top two MW3 maps. Hard hat is there. You were so close.
Oh, because I heard Dome, and there's been a huge thing on the internet recently where people have just been like, yo, Dome is the best Call of Duty map ever, which is just categorically false. That is bullshit. Dome is one of the worst Call of Duty maps ever. It is garbage. It's
No,
too small.
dude,
No,
no,
it's I
no.
fucking I will take
What?
this to my
No, that makes Dome
grave. I will
amazing.
take this to my fucking
No,
grave.
Dome is one of the
Dome is
best. Dome is one
garbage.
of the
Dome is
best.
garbage. Listen, I
You're
have
garbage.
played. I when I was a kid, I played in 14 total quick scope, no scope tournaments online, right? And I amassed a total of
Yep.
$150 through that. Okay, motherfucker,
Hmm.
every single one, not a single one, even if we were playing in Modern Warfare, not single one was played on Dome.
Dome was the
No,
quickscoping
it
map for
was
MW3.
not.
Yes, it
It was
was.
no, it was high rise. I remember every single one. If we ever played in Modern Warfare, it was always high rise.
That's MW2. It was also MW3 like DLC.
Yeah.
But no, like quickscoping, like the quickscoping map on MW3 to settle
Oh,
like
listen. Okay,
1v1s was
listen.
Dome.
I have to do some research because maybe I'm misremembering the maps in Modern Warfare 3. But I fucking hated Dome. I will take that to my grave. I
Dome.
hated Dome.
Dome is like it's like I think it's the Afghan like army base.
Yeah, it's the
I think
Afghan
that's how
army
you
base with.
describe it.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine
Yeah.
Dome in my mind right now. But you know what? Listen. We'll shelve it for the next podcast, okay? Because I gotta get the rest of my
Okay,
top twos are so
we'll argue
fucking
about that
dull.
later.
Okay, here we
Okay.
go.
I'm your Google
Oh,
Assistant.
my
I can
wait.
translate for you. Just ask me for something like, how do you say thank you?
Wait. I just need to read this to you. My Google Assistant on my phone just went off, and it accidentally picked up, "Who are you aware that later?" And it responded, "I'm your Google Assistant. I can translate for you. Just ask for something like, how do you say thank you in Zulu?"
Okay.
I love the Google
Oh my
Assistant.
god, that's funny.
All right, your next
Okay,
top
my
two.
next top two is okay. John's underwear and a Waluigi costume.
John's underwear, like our roommate,
Yes.
his underwear, and your Waluigi
No,
costume.
no, no. A Waluigi costume.
A Waluigi
Yep.
costume. Dude, this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna give my top two then. John in the robe, and you in a towel.
It's what's the category?
Really weird looking but normal outfits for roommates. I'm so confused. I really
you're
want to know
pretty
this.
far off because this one you were never gonna get this. This
Okay.
is John's underwear and a Waluigi costume is the top two weirdest things I've accidentally worn.
Oh my god!
Now let me explain.
How do you accidentally wear a Waluigi costume?
Okay, that's like a pretty more tame story, I guess. Well, in grand schemes, it's a little bit more of a tame story. I have a Waluigi costume. I purchased like in parts. I got really nice black overalls and like a like purple shirt and everything like that and a Waluigi hat when I was in my freshman year of college. The year before that though, my girlfriend at the time in my senior year of college or high school, was going as Waluigi for our costume contest at in high school, and she wanted me to wear it to go up on stage so that I could like go after her. And what we were gonna do, she was gonna come in the back and then she was gonna take it off and then put it on really quickly. I decided, I had decided a couple hours before that I was breaking up with her.
Oh my god.
So I hadn't planned to put on the Waluigi costume, but essentially she had come backstage. I like told her like, "Hey, we're breaking up." It was like really stupid time to do it. There's like a lot more to this story,
Yeah.
but like essentially that's what happened. And I like without thinking, I was just like, "Fuck!" Like after she left because she got really pissed off at me, I took the Waluigi costume and I put it on. And I really hadn't intended to wear it. Essentially, like I told all my friends that I wasn't gonna wear it. Now for John's underwear.
Oh wait. Can I guess? Because I think it's pretty easy
Oh,
to
okay,
kind
yeah,
of
go
guess.
ahead.
So we all had to share a
Yeah.
shower, and the shower area is really small. So when you had to take off your clothes, sometimes like you'd have to put like if you had shorts or underwear, you'd like kind of put them in the corner
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
room.
yeah.
There wasn't enough bars to like put clothes on because we each had our
Yeah.
towels on there. My guess is that either you accidentally picked up his underwear, like he left his by accident, and you put your clothes over it and picked it up by accident, or you took a shower and then later on walked into the shower, thought that it was your underwear and
Okay.
took it, and then just did it in your laundry and
All
then
right,
wore it.
close but no cigar. I'm actually currently
Okay.
wearing them.
What?
I had the last thing was true. I had just thrown John's underwear.
How was I supposed to
I had
know that
thrown
then?
John's underwear into the laundry before I left, into my laundry by accident, which meant that we left for the coronavirus with me having like John's underwear, And today I was just like, I had gotten home from work and took a shower and I got back in and I like put on on my underwear, and I was like, these are kind of tight. Wait a second, I don't own any polo underwear. Oh. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna wear these. Hey, they're surprisingly comfortable.
You ready for my next
Yep,
top
hit
two?
me with it.
Scotland and Ireland.
Scotland and Ireland. Scotland. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna
What's your
hit you with
top two
mine.
for it?
New Zealand and Australia, and the category is favorite countries in the British Empire.
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
Scotland and Ireland were the top two flags to be ripped down in during drunk festivities. So this needs a little bit of explanation. Our entire apartment was covered.
Oh yeah,
in
you
flags.
couldn't see a fucking wall, dude.
Yeah, so the thing is the Irish flag was right up behind the TV, and the Scottish flag was hung up right next to the corner for where you'd walk down towards the bathroom
Yeah.
and stuff. So as a result, we had a lot of Irish people over, me being one of them, and if we got drunk enough, the Irish flag usually ended up getting ripped up off the wall.
Yep.
But the reason that Scotland's number two is it's like perfectly in that doorway so that like when people start roughhousing or like run down that hallway or fall, they always take down
Yeah,
the
that shit
Scottish
came
flag.
down so often.
I also remember you ripping it down in retaliation a couple of times.
Oh, I don't even remember that. Whoa, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have been really
there's
drunk and
one-
angry at you.
No, you were completely sober because what happened was I remember one of them
I'm sorry.
clearly.
Do you really
It
think that there was a
was-
single time where I was in the apartment with you at the same time and I was sober?
Sober and the fact that
Oh,
you didn't
okay.
drink. I just presume that you're sober includes being under the influence.
Oh,
of
okay.
marijuana.
That's the third time
So-
someone's told that to me in my life.
So basically what happened is you like went around the corner like a little bit too fast and like you accidentally like digged up a corner of the flag, like one of the staples out.
Oh, I do remember
So I
this.
was like, hey Peter, can you just staple that back in quick? And you're like, yeah, sure. And you just ripped it down and went back to your room. Like for no reason.
God, I'm such a dick.
You just like
Oh,
it was so funny. Like we were all playing Mario Kart in the living room, and you came out to make like hot chocolate or something. You made it, and you were like clearly like tired. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
or, like just out of it.
oh my god.
And you just walked back, and like we were all just like we weren't being like obnoxious. We were kind of loud, but we weren't being like obnoxious.
I don't think there's a single
'Cause it was,
time that
like, the
you've
start
played
of it.
Mario Kart in the living room and you haven't been obnoxious. But do continue.
Well, it's not obnoxious at the beginning. It's not obnoxious at the beginning because we haven't been.
Yeah,
drinking.
yeah, yeah.
So like at the beginning, like the first
You
I
had
would say
not
the first
yet been
4 races.
obnoxious. I will grant you that.
Yeah, the first 4 races are usually pretty calm because that's when
You gotta get
everybody
drunk.
gets like, yeah. So then, so you would come out, you made your hot chocolate, and you just accidentally dug up a corner. And this is at the time when all the flags, like, we had kind of just hung them up, and they were like, none of them had really come down yet to the point where like we didn't have to worry about constantly restapling them. So like when you dug out the corner, I was like, oh, hey, do you just mind restapling? And you're like, yeah, sure. And you just ripped it down and then just walked
Wow,
away.
I'm such a piece of shit.
But the thing was, is you didn't do it like you were angry and you weren't in a bad mood. You just did it to do it. Because like everybody else in the living room was like, "What are you guys fighting or something?" I was like, "No, I think he just did it to do it."
I love that you already, like, at that point in our relationship, already understood that, like, I don't do anything out of malice. I always do things because I'm just like, this is something that I can do. It would be pretty funny, so I guess I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, like,
Alright.
in the same vein of that, here's my last top 2.
Your
Yeah,
last
that's my
one?
last one. I think that we should only do, like, 3 in an episode, you know? Because, oh my god, we're pretty long in time here. Alright.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of it. So like, even if we go to 1 hour and 15 minutes, I think
Okay.
we're good.
So, here's the last one. This one's pretty out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, my top 2s are Space Jizz and Didgeridoo Doo Wop.
Okay.
Okay. Alright.
So, my top 2 then is probably damn it. How do I say this? The Not Afraid parody song
Okay.
and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife remix. And it's like your top 2 like meme songs on YouTube?
Okay. No.
Am I
No.
close?
This one's completely
Okay.
imaginary. Because these are my top 2 Australian jazz band imaginary names that I would use if I were to make an
Fuck you.
Australian jazz band.
Fuck you. This is such a stupid top 2. There's no way that I could have guessed that. There's literally no possible
Listen,
way.
I don't know what happened to me today. At some point while I was working, I thought the words didgeridoo-wop, and I have not been able to get it out of my head all day. So I just had to write it down, and it's the perfect name for an Australian jazz band. It's so good. I just imagine that somebody has already come up with that band name. That has to be a real thing.
Okay. You ready for mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine's gonna be really hard to guess. If you get it, I'll be impressed. So, the top 2. Number 1 is black. Number 2 is pink.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
If you get
I
this,
think I
I'll be
might have
low-key
this.
impressed. Okay, pick your top 2. Then.
Mine is white. Oh, wait. No,
Yeah?
no. Actually, no, yeah. I'm gonna go with white and green, and I'm gonna go with
Which one's your top one?
which one's the top
Which
one?
one's your top one?
White.
Yeah, white. Okay, so
White then green. And the category is shit. Yeah, okay. The category is top 2 Yoshis that I hate to play in Mario Kart.
No, top 2 favorite colors.
Favorite colored.
in
Wait,
Mario Kart.
but you always play white Yoshi. I always play black.
No, I always play
Oh,
black. You
that's
always play
I
black.
can remember the way around it was. Fuck, I had it, dude. Oh,
You were so close. So like the thing is like when you started naming off the colors, I was like, okay, if he doesn't get one of the Yoshi colors, I know
Yeah.
I'm right. And then you picked white, which I know you always
Yeah.
play as, and then you picked green. So I was like, damn.
You want to know the thing? I don't have a second favorite Yoshi.
Yeah.
I always play as white Yoshi. I don't think a single time I've ever played
Yeah.
as anything but white Yoshi.
So here's my thing: is I if I'm playing by myself, I'll play as pink Yoshi. But when we play Mario Kart, I'm always black Yoshi.
So do you want a psychoanalysis on that?
No. So you want the explanation?
Okay, you're gonna give an explanation, then I'm gonna give an explanation afterwards.
So the explanation is I genuinely just like the pink Yoshi better. Like I just like playing as pink Yoshi. But I play as black Yoshi in multiplayer because there was one day where I hopped on to Mario Kart Online on my Switch.
Yeah.
And it was late at night, and there's probably like 7 or 8 of us in a lobby, and we all just happened to be playing as Black Yoshi. And I stayed in that lobby as long as possible. The best part is like people would come into the lobby like after that, and they wouldn't be Black Yoshi, and then they would change into Black Yoshi. So we eventually got to a game of like almost 12 people. We're either at like 10 or 11. The thing is it's just so funny to see 10 or 11 Black
that's
Yoshis
pretty fucking
just
funny.
driving around. You have no idea who anyone is. And then we transferred it over to Mario Kart, and that it was a house rule for Mario Kart that you had to play as a different colored Yoshi.
Oh, is that really where the house rule comes from?
Yeah, but do you want to know the reason why?
Wait, why? Yeah.
What? So the thing that I love about Mario Kart is screwing each other over specifically. Because if you played Mario Kart versus normal Mario Kart, there's a lot more screwing each other over in Mario Kart. And I think the reason for that is since everybody plays as a different color Yoshi, you know who's like an actual person versus
A fucking
an
bot.
NPC.
Which,
Yeah.
Which, hey, there's almost no difference between Dan and a bot.
Yeah. But the thing is it's when you play Mario Kart, I don't care about coming in first. I care about coming ahead of everybody else playing, like the
Connor,
other Yoshis.
Now, okay, well, I was gonna say you say that, but you're absolutely right. There have been times the only times I've ever been like afraid of getting into a real fight with you has been when I've beat you in Mario Kart. Yes, I fucking have.
You beat me in singular
in two
races.
different nights, Connor. In 2 different nights.
No.
One of them
No.
was singular races that you then bitched out of and then reset the bracket so we don't know the total score. And the other one, I fucking demolished you the whole night, and I had an overall score, and I had more races won than you. I have
here's the
witnesses. I have receipts.
For Mario Kart, you have to be there from the beginning.
That's
to the
such a bullshit rule because listen. There's
No.
only ever 2
No.
people that stay from the beginning until the end, and it's you and Dan. And Dan is never ever
No,
gonna win a
no.
Mario Kart in his life. Listen, I love Dan to death.
No. when I say stay there, like so we have it set up that the bottom two people switch out with.
It's
or,
it's
like,
typically
yeah, the
bottom one.
bottom
It's
two
typically
people.
bottom one.
Yeah, bottom one. Sometimes we do
It's
bottom two if
and
there's
by
a
that
lot
we
of
mean
people.
Dan.
Yeah. So the whole thing is if you're a good enough Mario Kart player, you're playing there for longer.
Yeah, which is what me and you always do. Because even if it was bottom two, it
Yeah.
typically is you and then me. It's typically you in first and then me in like fourth or fifth. Typically.
Yeah. So one thing that I will agree to is you beat me in sections and you beat me in races. The issue is I think you can completely beat me in a Mario Kart. It's just you've never stayed for an entire session.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Listen, we're gonna come
'Cause
back next
they're-
semester,
they're-
bitch, and I'm taking you to court. We're recording and everything, baby. Okay? We're gonna do a whole Mario Kart all the way through, and
Okay.
I'm destroying your ass.
Is this the podcast when we
Yeah,
go
this is gonna
back?
be the
This
podcast
is
when
a
we go
real
back.
life podcast.
And I'm gonna add
We have to
add
buy
a
an
rule.
Elgato
Okay?
for that.
If you come,
Okay.
because we'll have 4 people playing and we'll have other people so that it's it feels like a normal Mario Kart, right? Because there has to be the chaotic
Yeah.
element of at least one Dan playing and then Naveen every once in a while. I fucking love Naveen and Dan.
Because the best part about Dan being in last is he'll get weapons and randomly use them.
Oh, and you're
indiscriminately.
fucked.
Yeah. Sometimes Dan will just screw you over.
I think there was one beautiful moment where like you were coming in. I think it was like your last lap, and you were about to lap Dan. You go past him, and then Dan immediately used like a bullet bill and ran you over.
And he like knocked me off
And
the
he
map.
was like 2 maps back. He was like 2 laps behind.
Yeah, he's like 2 laps back. Because that's the thing is like people don't understand that when you play with Dan, you lap Dan so much that he is an actual threat.
Like that's
Like there's times when I've been in, it's like me first, Dan's behind me, but he's not in second, he's in 12th because he's last behind. And my biggest issue is Dan, because Dan can randomly out of nowhere get a star, a
or
bullet
fucking
bill,
blue
and
egg
get a
or
blue
shell,
turtle
yeah.
shell.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, and actually Dan being in the game actually gives you like it's the only saving grace from like getting alcohol poisoning is that after every race is that you at least get like a good minute to 5-minute buffer where Dan has to finish the race. Where you're just like waiting there. You're just
Yeah.
like, okay, I can sober up for a
Can I
little
just
bit.
also say that's one of my favorite things about the new Mario Kart. I'm so happy they
Yeah,
put this
it
in.
forces you to finish the race.
It forces you to finish the race, even if you're in 12th and everybody's finished.
I like that.
Because it's so funny because like you finish in first and then you're just chilling there, you're talking
Yeah.
with people, and then like the next person finishes and then you're talking and the third person finishes and then you have that like good race, and you have like a laugh and then you look back at the screen and you're like, why isn't the next race like ready to go? And then you just look in the bottom right corner and Dan's still plugging along on lap 2.
At this point, I don't even like look at the race because oh my god. So I there's just so much that you can't explain about the majesty of what it's like to play with you and Dan. Is that like you get so pissed off at Dan because Dan just knows exactly what buttons to push, and I know exactly what buttons to push on Dan to get you even more and more pissed. So like the race will be over, and I'll just be like, "Oh, Dan, you want to hit?" Like I'll just be like feeding him nicotine or like talking to him about something and just distracting the shit out of him. And it'll be like 15 minutes go by, and then you're like, "Why the fuck aren't we playing?"
Okay, because like another thing though is like we had a rule, and a lot of people break this rule, and it annoys me so much. Which is the rule is that Dan is not allowed to have nicotine unless he doesn't come in 12th. He has to come in like 11th or higher. And it initially started out as a rule because he would chief really bad when he was drunk on nicotine devices of people. But it turned into just a funny joke where Dan just couldn't come in 11th. He just couldn't not come in 12th. So like that would be his motivation, and there'd be such a big payoff when he would come in like 10th,
dude.
and he'd celebrate like he had just landed on.
Have you seen the meme of the guy who's like he's like celebrating and popping a champagne cork, and then it like zooms out and he's like in 3rd place on a podium? That's exactly Dan.
Yeah, that's what it's exactly like. And my favorite part is like when he comes in like 10th, everybody else is finished. He jumps up and he's like, "I did it, bitch!" And then he like reaches his hand out for like a nicotine device.
Oh my god! And then he gets like hit with like 30 of them. Like, oh
yeah,
dude. Okay, we have to recreate. I love the videos of like when we always make like a big like a tower of cans, and we like throw the cans at somebody like, hey, can you pass me a beer?
Yeah.
We got to do that with like, hey, can you pass me a stick? And then I just take out my like my stick collection and just like throw them at you.
Yeah. So what we used to do is we had this coffee table, and it was like the perfect size for Burial Cart, because it could fit probably like two empty 36
Oh yeah, yeah.
racks,
Like the surface area of the table
of one
easily,
layer
yeah.
of beer cans.
One solid layer of beer cans
Yeah.
of two 36 racks.
So like it was always cluttered enough so that it looked like it was a lot of beer cans, but like there's always space to put something else. And usually towards the end of the night, we'd build a pyramid.
Whoa! Don't say we, motherfucker. You don't get to say we. You ruin
I
my pyramids every single time you see them.
So somebody else builds them, and I grab my phone and I hop on Snapchat, and somebody's sitting on the couch, and the pyramid is just out of frame. So then they'll go, "Hey, pass me a beer," and then I'll just smash the pyramid.
There's
into
such
them
good videos
with my hand. And then they would just grab a can off their lap and they'd go like, "Thanks, man." We've done it like 5 times. I have 2 of them.
I think I have one of them.
I know I have 2 of them recorded. Yeah, I know other people have the other ones. Like that's something that I want to do when I graduate is I want to make a montage.
Yeah, dude, they're so good.
I just want to talk about like also this last semester Burial Cart got out of hand.
Out of fucking hand, dude. There would be so many times where I'm just like, I have an 8 a.m. in the morning and it is 3 o'clock and these fuckers are still hooting and hollering. I'm gonna murder them. Holy shit.
Cause for the longest time it was so for a while it was just me and my friends Naveen and Dan, and then John would come play once in a while.
John?
This was before we.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
This was the year before. This is when
before John became like a drug lord.
Okay, maybe not.
You could bleep out the word drug, but there's no.
No, I'm not bleeping out anything in this podcast.
Listen, John is a cartel boss. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay.
Okay, fine. Asterisk there.
None of what he does is illegal.
Yeah.
Not a single thing that he does is relatively illegal. Okay, but next podcast we're dedicating to 2 things. One, our argument about basketball, and then also just talking about John, because John is a mythological creature. All right.
Oh, we have to do an entire podcast where we just talk about John.
I'm sorry, because this is going to be such a good like sneak peek for the next podcast. Do you remember the time that John just came out to us that he has a fucking foot fetish, like in the middle of conversation?
Yes. Okay, we gotta save that.
Oh my god.
Dude, he's gonna be so mad if
he's never listened to this shit.
I know, that's why I'm not worried. So.
Oh my god.
So.
I have no fucking clue.
Oh, we were talking about it getting out of hand.
Yeah.
It used to be me, Dan, and Naveen, and it'd be the 3 of us playing, and then John would come out a lot of times and play. And that was like second semester of my sophomore year. And then this past year, junior year, first semester, most of the time it was me, Dan, Naveen, and Aaron, and then you would pop in for a couple games. John might pop in.
It was a lot of rotation with me and John.
And then there would be like, maybe like 1 or 2 other people that might pop in for a night. But by second semester,
it got
to the point where we would think that it would just be a 4-person like Burial Cart night, and by the end of it, there was like
we would run out of chairs. Like people would just be standing around. We're just like, okay.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are probably listening, and they're like, 10 people's not a lot, but like we had 3 couches that could fit
6 people. Not even people. 7. Come on, 6.
7. No, we could fit 7 because if we put the armrests down on that center couch, you could fit 3 on it. So you could fit 7 people, and then we had a chair that we could put next to one of the couches. And that fit 8. And
I'm right in saying that the couch came from Dildo, right?
No. That's John's
that's
couch.
John's couch. Okay, I thought it was Dildo's couch. Okay.
No, Dildo used the couch.
Oh, which is why we cover the couch.
Yeah, which is why the couch is covered with a sheet. For obvious reasons.
I mean, his name is Dildo. We really shouldn't have to explain much further than the fact that Dildo had the couch, and now we put a sheet over the couch.
Yes. So then if we got to the point where we had any more than 8 people, we literally had people sitting in chairs like behind the couch or like in the walkway to like down to our rooms and like the bathroom and the shower. So, and also like it's a very small like living room area. So having 10 people, like 3 couches, a coffee table, a TV and a TV stand, and then another like dining room table. Like it was just really crowded. If you had more than 7 people, 7 people is like the most comfortable that it can
Yeah.
be.
It yeah, no, it got so fucking chaotic some nights. There were like so many nights where I have just like stratified memories of me playing like Mario Kart for a little while, and then just like stuff got so out of hand. I'm just like I'm walking away from the situation, and then I remember being back at Mario Kart later, and I'm just like, okay, what the fuck happened? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, were you even in the room when Mega Dude Cat literally said, "Don't let me back inside your apartment"? Oh my
No,
god,
no, no.
me!
What
I
happened?
can't explain what we did that night, but me, Mega Dude Cat, John, and oh my god, and Caucasian James.
Is this the one where he kept coming in and
Yeah, there
out?
was one where he kept on coming in and out, and he
Dude, okay, I have a perspective on this
he
after you.
asked. So at some point, I can't remember his name, and I really feel bad. Caucasian James, the kid that I always call Caucasian James. I
Yeah.
can't remember his name, and I feel bad because I love this dude. But we were like pretty wasted in John's room, and we kept on throwing stuff around, and John was getting like invisibly more pissed, and I kept on egging on James, and
Yeah.
Mega Dude Cat just goes, I'm done. He looks at John in the eyes and just goes, if you see me back down on this floor or in this apartment the rest of the night, take me home. He left, and then came back 3 different times.
I remember that night because we were playing Mario Kart out in the living room, and he would leave, and every time he would open up the door, and he'd be like, "I'll catch you." And I'm like, "Oh, you leaving later, Mega Dude?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm coming back." And he'd be gone for like 5 minutes, and then like it was like the fourth or fifth time, and like one of the times he literally just went outside to grab Subway
Yeah.
off someone, but like every time he just like he would either leave and saying like catch ya as in like I'll catch you when I'm
Yeah.
back, or he just wouldn't say anything. So every time I was like, have a good night, Mega Dude, and he's like, I'm coming back. I was like, oh, okay.
Didn't know.
Dude, it's so
Oh.
funny. I didn't know that he told you guys not to let him back in. I wouldn't have let him back in.
Oh my god, I fucking love Mega Dude Cat.
I love him too. That was such a funny night. Mega Dude Cat coming in and out
Dude,
made
that
my
night
night
was
that
so
night.
out of pocket. Cause like that whole night started at like 10 o'clock. Like at 10 p.m. I was like doing kind of nothing because I had finished an essay, and I go over to John's room, and like Mega Dude comes in, he just, hey, we're gonna do this tonight, and I'm like, oh, so I'm not doing anything for the next 2 days.
Yeah. Like my favorite thing is just like is when Mega Dude Cat would show up plastered, but none of us were.
That was, oh, because at that point, like whenever I see anybody else like plastered, I always just have to catch up, you know. So like I'm just with Mega Dude, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what's going on tonight. Like,
So here's the thing that I think is like it was perfect for us together in an apartment. John didn't really drink that much, and you didn't really
yeah,
drink that much.
and you're a fucking
And
alcoholic.
I yeah, but most of the time I drank in
Yeah.
the apartment. But like also like you know me, most of the nights that I didn't drink was Saturday night because it was the UFC
Yeah.
fights. But I like probably every other Saturday night I
Yeah.
didn't drink. So it was always strange because everybody else would be out drinking and doing stuff on a Saturday night, and it was usually just you, me, and John in the apartment. And most of the time we were sober, and if we weren't, we'd only have had a couple
Yeah.
of beers. And those are the nights when Mega Dude Cat would show up at like 1 a.m. just plastered
Fucking-
and just walk in. It was freaking
There have been
hilarious.
so many nights where I've just like it's already been like past Burial Cart, past me and John hanging out. Like it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm like lying down, and then my door opens, and just Mega Dude is like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to sleep. He's like, bet, I love you, nigga. You just leave.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Mario Kart 2 is like so I wouldn't clean up the night that it
Oh,
happened.
not once.
And not once, but then I would say for a while I would clean up the next morning. There's definitely times where I didn't clean it up the next morning. But-
You had a pretty good
Yeah.
streak of like cleaning up most mornings, and then like at some point you stopped, and then you just never did it again.
So here's you want to know
Why?
why that was? So for a while it was only Mario Kart one night a week, and then it got to the point where a lot of times it was Mario Kart 2 times a week, and then sometimes it was 3 times a week, like 3 days in a row, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, I do. Oh, I fucking hated those weeks.
Yeah.
I fucking hated those weeks with a fiery passion.
Same.
I
just
couldn't. I
do.
like. I don't know how you. Well, I do know how you do it. You have a black hole in your stomach. I don't know how I handle that amount of alcohol. I really don't.
But Like the thing is so when it was 1 day a week, I would clean it up the next morning. When it was 2 times a week, normally I would just let it sit Thursday morning. Like I'd do a little bit of tidying up. Like I'd clean off like the coffee table and like
Yeah.
the floor. But a lot of times like the cans were still out on like the dining room table thing. But when it was those three time a weeks, I would not even clean it up until Sunday
Yeah.
or Monday.
All right. We're coming up on time. I just want to ask you one last question. How much money do you think you made off of like can recycling based on the amount of beer?
Oh, I
You
know.
you
I
know?
know.
Have you been keeping like a track?
Well, because I only did it 3 times.
Wait, you only turned in cans 3 times?
Well, the first time I did it with John, the second time I did it with
Yeah.
you, and then I left all those cans in there for like 3
Holy
months.
fuck! How many cans was that?
The third time when I cashed in, I got like it was like 1935.
Holy shit! That's 5 cents a can,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
Holy
whatever.
shit!
19 times 20 plus 7.
You're not gonna
Whatever
get
that
me to do
is.
math, buddy.
Don't worry, I'm whipping out Desmos on my phone right now.
Oh my god.
So 19 times 20 plus 30 or plus 7, 387. That was from like a 3-month
Holy
period.
shit.
But the thing that you have to remember though is that's not including all the cans that were destroyed beyond
Which
recyclable.
I guess I should tell you now. There were so many mornings when I would wake up and have to go to class early, and I would like get up, walk out, see all the cans, and just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna crush a bunch of these, and I literally would just like stomp on 10 of them and then just leave.
Yeah. So like that number could be way
It's
higher.
so much fucking higher, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then I think the other 2 times, I think when I went with you, it was like 8 something bucks.
Yeah, but that's also because I
And
fucked
then
up.
when me and
I broke one of the machines,
yeah,
which is like,
it would have been closer
yeah.
to like 10. And then I think when I went with John, it was just like
Yeah.
$6.
oh my god.
So like that last one was definitely like
That's
a
hefty,
big
dude.
one.
That's fucking hefty.
And before people think that that's like only me, I have to point out that was like 1 to 3 times a week with between 4 to 10 people in the apartment.
Okay,
drinking.
but given that, you drank at least 50% of those cans.
No comment.
I plead the fifth.
You want me to calculate my estimate for what I think I would have drank in a
Yeah, I think it's a clean 50%.
month? Because what did I say? It was 357.
Yeah, 57.
Was it that? It was 20 times 19.
Dude, you fucking
387.
yeah, 387.
387.
You inhale beer. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you
So,
literally can't
I
do it
would
with any other
do-
liquor. It's amazing.
1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So if I do 9, I imagine that. Okay, I here's my estimate for a 1 month, which is 162.
Yeah.
So it's slightly less than half because like let's be honest, I couldn't. drink
You
half
say
of
that, but there's so many nights where like, because we would like group up the cans a little bit, and based on the way that we would sit typically, so Dan wouldn't drink very much, and Dan would sit next to you, and then Naveen and Aaron would be on one couch, and then typically it would be me and then a floater on the other couch. The nights that I played, I remember
Yeah.
that you and Dan's pile was fucking giant, and then like Naveen's and mine made up like an equivalent of Aaron's and mine would make up an equivalent of yours. And
No, Aaron got to the point where he was doing the same as me.
damn, really?
By the so fun fact, Aaron, I hope Aaron listens to this because he should give me all
Yeah.
the credit for this. Aaron came and played Beerio Kart. I won't say under what circumstances, but he came and played Beerio Kart and basically had to keep up with me. That first night, he had maybe like 4 or 5, and after that, like he started feeling like woozy and like I think he
Yeah.
threw up after that. But it got to the point where he'd come and play so much with me that he was getting up to the point where he could
Yeah,
match my
like
level.
the only reason why my alcohol tolerance is as high as it is, well, besides like for me, I'm really good at drinking hard liquor. I cannot drink beer in excess. The only reason why I'm like kind of okay
Yeah.
at doing it now is because of Beerio Kart.
Here's the best thing about Beerio Kart. This is why I think it's so easy to drink to. Is it allows you to chug? It's like the optimal time for
Yeah.
chugging beers because you chug like a beer once every 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, because there's definitely nights where I've tried to shotgun and I've done. I think the most shotguns that I've done in a row was 4.
I'm sorry, that happened.
I've never.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
That's happened multiple times. Not
my
at the
God.
apartment. But I had tried to I shotgunned 4 before, but the thing is I could shotgun multiple times throughout Beerio Kart night and do Beerio Kart races because it was like the perfect pacing for
Yeah.
chugging beers. I don't know why.
All right.
It's just something like so perfect.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think the pacing is really good. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today.
How should we send this off?
That's how we're sending it off. Bye.
I've been Logan and he's
Hi,
been
I'm
Jake.
Jake.
And we'll catch you on the next episode
Bye,
of
I'm
Impulsive.
Jake.
This is not impulsive. Please don't come at me.
Logan Paul in the DMs.